Shoot the motor if you want to.
All right. All right. So I'm here. What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Denny M.
Denny M.
Yeah, and I worked for Buick for 37 years designing and developing engines.
So you had something to do with this bad boy, huh?
Yep.
The Stage 1 and the GS 455. So you that man.
Well, I was the lead development engineer to develop the Stage 1. We had started in '65 when Buick put big blocks in the '65 Grand Sport,
Okay.
which were 401s.
Okay.
And with the performance interest growing in Buick cars, we started that. And also, if you back up in my heritage a little bit, we brought a 425 engine out in 1963 for the Riviera.
Oh, really?
And then sales and marketing wanted a performance option, so we developed a twin four-barrel 425 for 1964 that went into Rivieras and Wildcats. And I led the development of that package, which was carburation, intake camshaft, distributor and carburetor, special axle ratio, transmission calibration. So then when we started developing the 400 and the 430 for 1967, the performance interest was growing in Buicks. So we started developing, before we actually brought the 430 out in '67 and the 400, started developing performance parts for the engines, camshafts, bearings, gaskets, block cold air, or hot air to the intake manifold and things. So we were doing that in the '66s and '67s, and in 1969 we put together a Stage 1 option package for the Skylark Grand Sport.
And what did that consist of?
It consists of an engine with camshaft, distributor, carburetor, and then we had a special transmission, automatic transmission calibration with it, and we did a performance axle and larger exhaust system for it. So it was focused on, you need to understand that Buick cars were heavily optioned in heavy cars. So we focused a lot on torque for the motors, because that's what people drive, and also performance on the street, because we're selling cars, and Buick owners load them up, power seats, power windows, air conditioning. So it's important to have a strong motor for the customer.
Right.
So we had that developed for the 400 in '69. There goes one of them.
Yeah.
That one's modified.
Okay. All right.
And then in 1970, General Motors allowed all the divisions to put 455 cubic inch engines in the Skylark Grand Sports.
Okay.
So when we had the opportunity to do a 455 cubic inch, which has a bigger cylinder bore, we had a chance to put bigger valves in the engine.
Okay.
So we did that in addition to the other parts for the kind of famous 1970 455 Stage 1 car.
Now, that engine had the most horsepower than any other motor, right?
No, it didn't have a lot of horsepower, but we were always focused on torque. So the cars were fast on the street.
Okay.
And because we were used to doing big heavy cars. So I didn't get really radical with the Stage 1 because I wanted it fast on the street. And then, because of the interest and people were running drag strips and stuff with the cars, when you set something up to go off-road, and you take the mufflers off and put headers on the car, you have the opportunity to do a lot more with camshafts because you're running high RPM.
Right.
So we did a Stage 2 camshaft setup that was available across the counter. And then, because of the interest was continuing to grow, I developed a Stage 2 cylinder head, which had very large exhaust ports, radically different from the production 455 Stage 1 head. And because people were going to buy those, or if we produced it in the factory, which our intent was for super stock, I knew everybody was going to throw exhaust manifolds away. So we only designed headers for it.
Oh, really?
And our intent was to build it in the factory. And that was about a 500 horsepower engine that we were built. High compression, 11-to-1, and a lot of other features.
But that never happened. or did
Well,
it?
what happened is we had to drop compression ratio in 1971 because
Yeah.
we went to non-lead fuel.
Right.
And it didn't make any sense to me to drop compression ratio and build a race motor, because then everybody had to take it apart and put high compression pistons in the
I
race.
got you.
So I said Buick shouldn't do that, even though I was a racer and I was interested in doing that.
Right.
So we released the parts for service,
Oh, really?
and the cast and the cylinder head, the stage 2 cylinder head that we did that had big exhaust ports like that.
Okay.
Very unlike the original one. That was about a 50 horsepower increase in the engine, just both the heads up.
Okay.
And so they were experimental tooling, so we made about 200 and machined them and sold them across the counter. So there are about 200 original heads. Of course, some of them I'm
Really?
sure some of them have been failed in racing and stuff.
Right.
And we made available. Of course, we made bearings and cams and other things, pistons.
From the factory. From the factory.
All you could buy across the counter.
Wow.
And then the other thing that I've done since then is we also had some additional parts, like 455 cylinder blocks with 4-bolt main caps. And I also did some experimental cylinder heads with big intake ports along with the stage 2 port. We never made those available for service, but I'm working on putting together a collection of Buick V8, the early nail-head engines of the 50s and the early 60s, experimental parts and performance parts, and I'm writing the history, and it's going to go in a museum.
Oh, really?
I've taken the parts display to Bowling Green, Kentucky for the Grand Sport and Grand National National event every May in Bowling Green.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue to do it while I'm still alive, and if necessary, our daughter and grandson will see that it goes in a museum someday.
Okay. Now, I heard you, can I say your age?
87. Just turned 87.
I thought they said 82, but
87.
You look good. You get around good, my man, for that age, too. I'm telling
Running
you.
out of energy, but I'm still able to do
You're
that.
still getting around good, I'm telling you. Wow, 87. That's a blessing.
We're doing this big Buick show today. We do every August during Back to the Bricks. We do a Buick show in Flint on Water Street, which is the birthplace of General Motors. And we're featuring Riatas this year. Some years we've brought in transports. One year we bought in the turbo cars. And so every year we try to do something different on the third Saturday in Flint. So come down and enjoy the Back to the Bricks big
Man,
show.
I come away from Wisconsin for this, yeah.
We have close to 150 vintage Buicks here today.
Yeah.
All free.
Yeah. They looking all good, too.
So-
I'm sad I can't get them all, but, I'm glad I got you, though, because, man, you missed the GS. That's, that's all right.
Oh, I've forgotten a lot, but I still try to share what I can remember with the enthusiasts.
Right,
Thanks to
right.
everybody that keeps the Grand Sports stuff going.
There you go.
Good.
My man, I appreciate you taking out the time, my man.
Good talking to you.
That's all right. All right. And your name?
Dennis Manor.
Denny.
Yeah.
Denny.
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 I go by everything.
Oh,
I've been called worse.
I got you, my man. So real quick, can you take me around this one?
Well, this is a 72. This is a 72 stage 1 car. We have a 66 Riviera Grand Sport with the twin 4-barrel engine that I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And we've had that for many, many years. And it's a very original car. We do a lot of touring with the Buick groups, and it's a non-air conditioned car. And at our age anymore, we don't like non-air conditioned cars on hot days.
Oh, I got you.
So
I
we found
got you.
this 72 stage 1 car with air conditioning on it about 20 years ago and bought it, and been driving it and having fun with it. So
Oh, okay.
do something with your
Well,
Buicks.
well,
Either show them or get them out and drive them, but don't let them sit in the garage.
Hey, but let me ask you this. When you created all this for the GS, did you have anything to do with the air airflow and how this is set up?
Well, I didn't do the air cleaner setup. That was kind of a styling thing to do the air and bring the cold air in. But I did I did the lead development. I had other engineers helping me, but we did all the development. I was the leader of putting this package together.
I got you, my man.
Yep.
Man, it's just a beautiful setup. It's
Fast
good.
for the street.
It's good to see somebody that. Now, tell me this: with like people, a lot of guys, they don't like the Edelbrock. I mean, they like Edelbrocks and stuff over the Quadrajets.
Yep.
But with Edelbrock or Harley or whatever, they blowing 4 barrels in at all times.
Well, the Edelbrock's a good carburetor, and every carburetor, some of the aftermarket stuff has advantages.
Yeah, if you're racing and stuff, I would think.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing wrong with a Quadrajet if they're set up right.
But the Quadrajets, they push out what 750 CFM or something?
I forget what they were. I think they were. I'm not sure. They might have been 850. I don't remember.
Some were. The ones with the humps had the 850, but the average one was 750. And the 2-barrel the 4-barrel only opened up when you get into it. Otherwise, it was running off of 2 barrels, right?
That's the way 4 barrels are designed.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh man. Well. So you had this one for, wow, this is a true stage 1 car too, huh?
20 years.
20 years?
Yep.
Stage 1.
Stage 1.
Oh man, this baby is clean. Wow. So Dennis, you mind opening the door?
This is a 72.
Wow, look, yeah, it's solid, guys. Wow, GS. Look at this, tilt wheel, got the bucket seats, console. This is original seats too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Original seats in here? Yeah, headliner. Oh man. Wow, this is nice, my man. Beautiful color.
The interesting about this car, in 1972, Buick Skylarks had 4 blue colors.
Okay.
This is not one of them.
Really?
Back in those years, if you ordered a car, a Buick, you could get a special order paint.
Oh, really?
This is Code 28 Royal Blue, which is the bigger series, Electras, Rivieras, Wildcat Blue.
Right.
This car was special ordered with Code 28 Royal Blue. There are only 4 of them with this color.
Really?
This is the only one without a vinyl top.
Oh, really? Wow. Oh man, that's beautiful too, man.
The other thing it has the optional flow-through exhaust through the bumper.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. So that's factory. I thought maybe that was custom there.
It's a factory option.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. And how many did they make like this?
I don't remember.
You don't know? Wow. And see, a lot of times they don't have the bumper guy running all around like that.
Depends on the year. They changed the bumper. See, this has, in 1972, we had to get into some of the crash protection stuff.
Okay.
Notice the rubber here?
Yeah.
So you could have an impact and not damage the chrome. And they had some of the same thing on the front. But that was part of the safety developments that were going on to reduce the expense of collision.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's first year, 72. 71 don't have that.
And you said that's a factory option down there.
Yeah.
My man. Wow. Can I open this last door over here or what? I'm going here. Yeah, look at that, guys. Wow. Yeah, she just clean. Wow. Look at that. Man, she is clean, my man. She is clean. All right, well, the sports mirrors on both sides. It's really good to meet, because everybody loves a GS.
Thanks for coming to Buick's on the Bricks. Come back next year.
I'm coming back.
Different feature cars.
I'm coming back, my man.
I think we got almost 140 vintage Buicks here today.
Yeah.
All free.
That's good. My man. Well, it's good that I got to meet you, somebody that has, because everybody loves the GS, I'm telling you. That's the car, that's what to have, So My man, and you had something to do with all of that.
Yep.
All right, my man. Glad meeting you, Denny.
Good seeing you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Take care.
All right.